Hey guys, Man 945 here. Welcome back to another video. And welcome back to one of my favorite kinds of videos to make, which is my seasonal anime overviews. I was going to do this tomorrow night after certain shows had concluded with the 12 episodes, but I was like, F it, I want to do it tonight, especially because there is a lot of shows this season which actually have 13 episodes instead of 12. So, a lot of them are actually ending next week, but I wanted to go ahead and make it now so I make sure I do it in time for the start of the fall season. Um, so yeah, let's get started. So, beginning with what I dropped. So this season, I end up dropping four shows. These being Dekin no Mogura, Kamitsubaki City, Hogan Anki, and Perky Time to Strike. Excuse me. Now, the reason why I dropped Dekin no Mugura is because I tried watching the first episode and it was really boring. Um, and then Kamitsubaku City had like really bad 3D animation, and it was like, from what I heard from other YouTube channels, apparently it's like an anime that was made as part of a multimedia project for VTuber lore, as best I understand it. So it does not make any sense as a standalone show in any way. So therefore, um, I dropped it because the plot was not making any sense. And then Token Anki, um, I thought it had a pretty solid first episode, and to be honest, in many other seasons, I probably would have kept it. But the thing is, like, the second episode just kind of seemed really generic to me. Like, I think the first episode was one of those ones where it really needed the right amount of momentum to follow up with it, and I just didn't get that. And again, in a different season, I might have kept it because it seemed like a cool show, but just like this season was so stacked that I just had to kind of pick and choose. Um, now the last one, Turkey. So I thought this was just gonna be a very simple bowling anime, and then like, um, they at the end of the first episode, they end up time traveling back to samurai times where they use bowling to I don't even know what. I watched like three or four episodes, I think, and um, I just did not like. I did not understand where it was going. Um, and I just it was a weird show that thought was the definition of lost the plot. Um, so those are the shows I dropped. And in terms of continuing shows, I only had one this season, which was Anne Shirley. And this is probably going to be in my top 10 of the year with the episodes that came out over the summer season because this is an incredible anime. Now, I talked about it in my spring video, but this anime is based off the book Anne of Green Gables, and based on this anime, I think I would love this book. Now, what has happened since I talked about it in the spring? Um, I'm not going to try to spoil too much in case anyone watching this ends up interested in watching this show, which I would highly recommend it. Um, basically, on like grows up a lot, and we see a lot of her like college life and struggles with love and just like being a young adult. And the It was a weird thing where like it didn't air for 2 weeks because of something with like a baseball game in Japan was on the same network. So like um it's probably, I think we still have like, yeah, two episodes left of it for that reason. So um I'm looking forward to that, the one of which will come out tomorrow. Um but yeah, now for the stuff that I actually watched, first up is my anime of the season and one of my not my number one, but like I think it's gonna be in my top five of the year. City the Animation. This was the anime I was most excited for this season, and it exceeded all expectations and excitement because it is absolute city noir. Um, uh, Um, City, if you don't know, is made by the same creator as Nichijou. It's basically Nichijou, but the three main girls are in college, and even though it does include some high school characters, it's like more focused around the college aspect. And I just love that as a guy that's in college. It's absolutely hilarious. Um, and like this right up there with Nichijou is one of the funniest animes I have ever seen. And even though it's not going to be getting as many episodes as Nichijou, it's just every single Sunday just watching this, especially if I've had a rough day at work, it's just like so nice to sit down, watch this, bust my balls off laughing, because it's so funny and just have an absolutely great time. And that, above all else, is why I love City the Animation so much. And also, I really do have to mention, speaking of animation, holy hell, man. Kyoto Animation fucking look just like Nichijou. But I would argue that Nichijou's animation is even better than Nichijou because there are so many insane scenes with ridiculous levels of awesome animation for a stupid comedy anime, and I just love it. It's absolute cinema. Now Dandadan season two, in my opinion, was just as good as the first season. It did the weird thing again where it ended in the middle of an arc, which I will never understand why it does that, and it's like not just making more episodes to kind of have a better conclusion per season, but whatever. It's not that big of a nitpick for me. Um. And yeah, Kinta is my new favorite Dun Dun character, and I thought all this stuff with Evil Eye's backstory was just fantastic. I thought it was really well done. It was like very emotionally satisfying. Fermat no Liori was a very, very fun cooking anime. The last episode of which I believe comes out tomorrow, unless that's one of the 13 episode ones. I can't remember. Is it? Let me see. No, it's 12. Okay. So the last episode of that will come out tomorrow, which I am excited about. And yeah, it's just a chill cooking anime. I really like a lot of the characters and just kind of the absurdity behind the cooking and how it relates to math is just really cool. It's a fun concept, which I just thought was a fun watch. Oh boy, we got Gachi Yakuta. Okay, so I heard about Gachi Yakuta. Like I've heard the name before. I think in like a Duran's World short, he mentioned he had been talking about it for a little bit. Um, so this is cool to see this come out. I didn't know anything about it other than like hearing that brief description in the short that Duran did about it, but this is a great shonen. The setting of like between the kind of the sphere and the underground and making it all like crash themed, I think it's really cool. And I really like Rudy's powers. I'm pretty sure that's his name. Oh boy, if that's not his name, that's gonna be really fucking embarrassing. I Yeah, this is a great shonen. I really like a lot of the characters. The villain seems interesting, even though I haven't seen much from him yet. And this is one that has 24 episodes, which means it's continuing into the fall season. So I'll be able to talk about it a lot more when I make my fall anime video. Jigoku Sensei Hell Teacher Nube. So this is a cool one. This is a 2025 remake of a old uh classic shonen series from the 90s of the same name, which I had not heard of before watching this show. In fact, I found that in fact by watching a video about it. Um, this is a fun show. It's about a teacher that protects his students using spiritual powers. And from what I saw, I believe the next core of it is coming in 2026, I think. So there's going to be more of that to look forward to, but I thought this had a fun format. Each episode explored like a very different kind of spirit, which was interesting, and the way that Nube fought them off every episode, and the way that it kind of developed the characters of his students was quite entertaining. So I was a fan of this one. Then we have Hotel Inhumans. This is a very fun and unique anime, which is basically about this hotel that caters to assassins, and it gave me heavy Death Parade vibes. Because a lot of the stories are separate, but it kind of features the main two concierge characters, Hoshino and Sara, um, and kind of the way that they are sort of participating in the assassinations. It's just a really unique show, and I think that I would recommend it to people that kind of like fans of Death Parade. If you're looking for a similar kind of show, I would definitely recommend Hotel Inhumans because it's a very entertaining show and it gives me heavy Death Parade inspiration and vibes. Um, My Dress Up Darling season two. So I'm a big fan of My Dress Up Darling, and season two took everything that I loved about the first season and just improved upon it. The cosplays were more interesting. The animation was better and more beautiful. Like my God, Cloverworks fucking cooked this season, as with one other show, which I'll get to in a few minutes. Um, and also, the relationship between Marin and Gojo also made significant strides, although I was really hoping for a confession by the end of this season, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I could be wrong, but like I think the next episode is probably going to be the whole the final episode tomorrow is probably going to be the whole like group cosplay bit. So, you know, take what you can get. But I really enjoyed this season. The cosplays and like the sort of things that they came from seemed a lot more creative, and as such, the kind of animations and like this kind of production styles that they could play with was a lot more unique in this season, which I really liked. Okay, I had to take a quick pause there to go get some water. Um, okay, next up we have my pick for the by far the most underrated anime this season. And that is Onmyo Titan Rebirth Verse. Um, so premise for this sounded really generic, but I still gave it a try because I felt there was something about it that seemed kind of unique to me. And it took a few episodes, believe me. I definitely consider dropping this at like 3 or 4 episodes in, but like you really just gotta let this one cook because it's such a cool premise and the characters are actually really interesting and the world building is absolutely insane. Like it's this whole idea of like making a futuristic type version of a Heian era civilization where um these people fight in Onmu against uh these Oni type things to kind of protect their civilization, and then there's like all this crazy lore and about like time travel and bit about like how one guy that seemed to be the villain actually wasn't. But like he still wasn't a very great guy, and then like the main love interest actually turns out to be the main villain, which is a crazy plot twist. And and there was this all this crazy stuff about like there being like 100 or 1,000 different versions of the same civilization and like merging together. It was a crazy show, and it was really cool. And this was an anime original, which kind of blows my mind. It was an anime original by David Production, which is part of the reason I say it's really underrated because yes, a lot of the fights with the Oni and stuff used 3D animation. Like it was really good 3D animation. Um, I was very surprised by this, and I ended up really enjoying it. Um, Definitely my most underrated anime of the whole season. Um, Now, Rory Rocks. So this is what Studio Bind has been doing instead of making Mushoku Tensei Season 3. They made an anime about really goddamn pretty rocks, and holy shit, they made them fucking beautiful because this has some of the best animation of the season, and it has absolutely no right to have that because it is just a really cute show with it's just a fun cute girls doing cute things show about exploring and learning about rocks. And I'm sure that everyone watching this video when they were in elementary school had some sort of a phase, no matter how little, where they thought rocks and minerals were the coolest thing ever. And that is exactly what this show is, and it's just a really fun time. Now, speaking of fun times, um, Sakamoto Days Part 2 aired this season. Part 1 was back in winter season of this year, and it was very, very good. This part anyway. We got to learn a lot more about Slur as a villain and a character. And there's even more lore to him. I guess will be revealed. Him attacking the JAA was an insane episode or two, and then Takamura, the old man, just showing up out of nowhere and destroying everything, being the most OP character, was just really fun. Um, so yeah, there was a lot of things to like about this, and I'm looking forward to more parts of it. That's assuming I don't pick up the manga first, because I really might. Um, Not because the anime is bad. I've seen a lot of shit for the animation quality, and I think it's perfectly fine. I think it looks really good actually. Although I have heard that the manga illustrations are godlike, so I might pick it up after I finish Magi. Um, Now this next one is a unique one because it was only 6 episodes. And it's this anime called See You Tomorrow at the Food Court. And basically, it's literally just 6 episodes of two girls that are best friends that meet at the that meet at their local mall food court every day to just discuss literally whatever they feel like talking about. And it's just a really cute show that now that it's completed, you could finish it in like an hour and a half. Um, it is just a really, really fun show. So I enjoyed it. And then we have, speaking of fun slice of life shows, we have Futari Solo Camp or Solo Camping for Two, which is this cute anime about a guy whose solo camping adventures get ambushed by this girl. And I don't know if there's gonna be romance involved. It's hard to tell if that's like the direction that's going between two characters. Like the girl admitted feelings for the older guy, Gen, but like I don't know if that's going to end up in a relationship. I'm thinking probably not, but I don't know. But it is continuing in the next season, so I will be able to talk about it more then. It's a fun anime that kind of talks a lot about camping stuff, which is cute. Now, another one of the most anticipated animes for me this season was Kaoruhana, or The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. I heard quite a lot about this, and I'd seen it was like one of the most hyped up romance animes by manga readers before the anime came out, and let me say, this anime was so freaking good. It's basically a microcosm of everything that I think makes a really good anime. There is no love triangle bullshit. It is just the pure, unadulterated feelings and development of two main characters. It looks like, the friend character wasn't too intrusive and she's actually a good character. Like Subaru is actually a really good character. An emotional backstory in her relationship with um Kaoruko is amazing. Um, and also, this is just a personal prediction of mine, but I feel like Subaru is going to be in a romantic relationship with one of Wintero's friends. Um, and also, this is the other one that I talked about. Cloverworks absolutely cooking this season because this anime is beautiful. Um, and yeah, it's just a really damn good romance anime, and I'm excited for more episodes and more seasons of it to come out. And I might pick up the manga before then. We'll just have to see. Um, um, okay, I just had to look up something real quick there. Okay, so we finished talking about Karuhana. Another anime that I had been aware of for quite a while is The Summer Hikaru Died. Now, I need to preface this by saying that I'm not really a fan of mystery or horror animes, but The Summer Hikaru Died is really good. And what I think is so good about this show, and what has me captivated compared to other horror mystery type shows, is the fact that it still is very distinctly character focused. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that there is obviously the element of figuring out what this Hikaru imposter is, and like how he's related to Nonuki, the god of the mountain, and all this stuff, and like other monsters that we've seen appear. So it's definitely got a compelling mystery, but for me, the thing that really made me stick around with the Summer Hikaru died is the relationship between imposter Hikaru and Yoshiki, because you see a lot of like things about their friendship, and it's just really cool to see how close of friends they were, and seeing Yoshiki's kind of changing perspective several times throughout this show, in terms of like his viewpoint on what he would do with the Hikaru imposter, like going from this idea of him being this like being okay with the idea because like in his mind, as long as Hikaru is still there in in some form, it's fine. And then he kind of comes to realize he's not really okay with it, and then that kind of resolves into the two of them working together. And I think so far that development, even over the course of one season, which I definitely predict there will be more because this anime has beautiful animation. I can't believe it's the same studio that made Apocalypse Hotel last season. That kind of blows my mind. um, the Side Games Pictures is cooking so far. Even though they're a newer studio, I think they're definitely on a good hot streak so far. Um, so the show is really good, and I'm looking forward to seeing what is in store with future seasons of it. With You in the Rain was a very fun and yet unique slice of life anime about a woman named Fuji who adopts a dog, which is really a raccoon, but right. and do all this stuff. And it's just really fun to see um her interactions with the pet. And I think it dwells on a lot of interesting themes about like regrets from childhood and like who you are now versus who you were in the past, which I think is really interesting. And I quite enjoyed this show. Okay, now probably the most hyped show this season, and it deserved every single inch, not even inch, fucking nanometer of hype is Lord of the Mysteries. Now, I was confused as all get out when this show began. And there's still a few things I'm kind of confused about, but the plot is genius. The characters are really cool. It's got one of the coolest power systems I've ever seen in all of fiction with the whole Beyonder system. And I feel like I have only just scratched the surface for how cool the Beyonder power system can get. The characters were really good, and the world is extremely fascinating and cool. And the mystery of this current season was really good, and the way that it kind of mixed smaller mysteries episode by episode while also kind of drip feeding the larger narrative mystery for the whole season was genius plot structure. And then to top it off, this anime has not even just animation, period, some of the best production values of any TV show I have ever seen. Like, we are talking on the levels of Arcane with how incredible these production levels are. Lord of the Mysteries is peak, and I am so excited at the idea that like 6 seasons for this show have already been confirmed, which is absolutely insane in this current climate of anime where it takes a really fucking long time to hear anything about a next season. So that kind of blows my mind, and I think it's a very good oding. That's not the right word. It's a very good boding thing for the anime industry, and at the very least Chinese anime in particular, because hopefully this helps create a trend of kind of more consistent release schedules with newer seasons and more consistent information about it, because uh, Lord of the Ring, no, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Mysteries has been crazy popular. So I really hope that we see the beginning of a new trend that's caused by this show, because the fact that that many seasons are confirmed for it is just insanely exciting. Lord of the Mysteries is peak, and if you have not watched it yet, then please do. If you can get over being confused as all hell for about the first 3 to 4 episodes, it will 1000% be worth it. Now I know I said City the Animation was my anime of the season. I wasn't really lying about that, but it's not my real answer for anime of the season, because mine, and I'm sure everyone else's that watched it, anime of the season, and for me personally, my second place runner behind Apothecary Diaries season 2 for anime of the year so far is Taco P's Original Sin. I almost skipped this one. Not because it didn't look interesting, but because I didn't know it about it. Like, just because I always seem to forget to check the whole like O and A section of the anime seasons because there are some animes like Lord of the Mysteries is another example of one where like isn't listed as a normal anime. It's listed as like a different category. So I almost missed that one for that reason. But then someone I'm in Discord server with told me about it, told me to watch it, and I am so glad I did because not only is this a incredibly dark and depressing anime, but um it deals with something that is a very, very tough subject, and that is just it deals with a lot of really rough things. The first of which is bullying. And we're talking like extreme bullying, the point of getting beaten up almost to death type bullying that's happening here. And it also covers like with Azuma, it covers this idea of um like parental like the whole golden child syndrome, which I think is just excellently well done. Um and then like with I can't remember the uh, blonde girl's name, but uh their relationship and like the fact that her mom beats the blonde haired girl up because her husband or the blonde girl's father is cheating with a prostitute who is Shizuka's mother. And that series of dynamics never stops being as insane as it sounds throughout the entirety of the 6 episode run. Also, the animation and direction of this anime is absolutely incredible. It has some of the most fluid animation of the year. Um, and yeah, it was just amazing. And the characters were just so so freaking good. Um, every single one, despite the fact it's only 6 episodes, including Takopi. And by the way, Takopi is such a fun and fresh concept, and I love the kind of sense of childhood innocence that he brings to the story, despite the fact it is such a dark anime. But this anime is just absolutely uh incredible, and I am a really, really big fan of it. And I'm sure that I'm not the only person to say it is one of the best animes of the year. But that was the Stacked as Fuck Summer Anime Season. Thank you so much for watching the video. Tell me in the comments what your favorite anime from this season was and what you are looking forward to most in the fall season. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.